Janet, the Kuypers.
Hello again. I'll have two no ones later, but we'll have a periodic table because you didn't know you could get your science fix this way. But if you did not hear this before, I decided years ago to write a poem for every element of the periodic table. And some of them are in this book on the edge, and I'm just sharing one after another with all you lovely people. And this one is 58 in the periodic table. It's Cerium. Joining commuters driving toward the Chicago Loop, I watched majestic skyscrapers frame the skyline as I witnessed over Lake Michigan early morning clouds. Thin at the top, each cloud looked like a snow-capped mountain, framing this flatland city and surrounding the skyscraper skyline. But all those clouds were only formed in the mornings, but by the early morning weather pulling water daily from Lake Michigan. When the water is actually from the lake, it's warmer than the dew point, where the water rises until the air is cool enough so that the lake water forms those clouds. But the thing is, Lake Michigan is more than hydrogen and oxygen. At times, they even warn the actual public to not go into the unsafe water. This is the same water Chicago filters for everyone to shower in and drink. So I checked some of the studies on what was foreign, all these foreign compounds that were in Lake Michigan, what they actually contain. At times, you can find everything from cadmium, mercury, lead, or zinc, to copper, chromium, even selenium. The list includes harmful elements, but the numbers that were really off the charts came from cerium. Cerium acts like calcium in the human body, and you can also find a lot of cerium in tobacco plants. And with cerium's moderate toxicity, prolonged exposure can lead to itching, heat sensitivity, or skin lesions. And wait a minute, cerium can spontaneously ignite in the air if the air is actually hot. And you might be thinking to yourself that if cerium is in water, it should be safe, but water can't be used to stop a cerium fire, since cerium reacts with water to make hydrogen gas. Well, if cerium fire fumes are toxic, then so much for Lake Michigan being good for you, I guess, even when Chicago has multiple water purification plants. Because cerium in the water that forms on those morning clouds is one thing, but no matter the toxicity of cerium, remember that us humans are over 70% water. With all these compounds that cerium goes into, it's probably best if cerium's left to its industrial uses instead of working its way into our water. And besides, it's nice to think that those beautiful morning clouds framing the Chicago skyline with snow-capped mountains are actually more than just hydrogen and oxygen, because every once in a while, look at that morning sky, because in just the right way, a little cerium can go a long way. As I had said, sometimes I have short poems that I can share with you, and oftentimes they become something that I would put into an Instagram poem, and so it would be a picture that would appear somewhere. So I managed to get a web connection. I'm going to try to show the photo after I read this, two really short ones. This first one is called Explosive Energy. Your words are like another language to me, because each sound, each breath from you is an explosion of energy that accosts me, tickles my senses, and excites me for more. And it related to something about being in France, which is relative to that. And I love this. This one is called Keeps Repeating. I question my turning the other cheek when your violent strikes just get stronger and this painful history keeps repeating itself.
Yeah.
Go over.